Have you ever felt too small inside your own life? Like everything around you keeps getting tighter and yet you keep pretending it's fine. You learn to smile even when your chest is screaming that it doesn't fit anymore. You adjust your voice, your words, your dreams. All just to not disturb. To not seem like too much. But there comes a moment when your body starts to give you signs. It gets tired of shrinking. Tired of fitting into spaces that no longer match your size. And deep down you feel it. You feel yourself fading every time you stay silent just to belong. Drifting further away from who you are every time you try to become what others expect. Life is too short to keep making yourself smaller just to be accepted. And maybe what you call stability is just fear disguised as comfort. Maybe what you call love is only the habit of shrinking yourself to fit. But what if the problem was never your size? What if the real mistake was trying to live in spaces that were never meant for you? Since very early on we're taught to adjust. Lower your voice. Don't answer like that. You're overreacting. And without even noticing, we start shaping ourselves to fit what others expect. We grow up believing that being loved means being pleasant. That pleasing others matters more than listening to our own hearts. So you start shrinking slowly. You stop saying what you feel to avoid conflict. You pretend you don't care just to not look fragile. You adapt to places that ask you to be less intense, less emotional, less ambitious. Bless you. And as time goes by, what once felt light starts to feel heavy. Because living small always comes at a price, and it's always too high. You look within and realize you no longer know what you truly like or what you truly want. Everything feels a little blurry, as if your essence has been quietly fading away. Still you keep trying to fit. Trying to please, to belong, to not disappoint anyone. As if the love you receive depends on how well you can adjust. And maybe that's why you've accepted less than you deserve. Because you were taught that being too much is wrong. But what if the real mistake was learning to be less? I know it hurts. It hurts to realize you've been dimming your own light so no one feels uncomfortable. It hurts to see that in some places being authentic costs you peace. But let me tell you something. You don't have to make yourself smaller to be accepted. Those who want you small don't truly want you. They want control. They want comfort. They want you to keep fitting into what's convenient for them. And you know what's ironic? The world applauds you when you hide. But criticizes you the moment you start to shine. They call it ego when you choose yourself. Coldness when you set boundaries. Arrogance when you finally say, enough. But it's not ego. It's self-respect. It's not coldness. It's maturity. It's not arrogance. It's liberation. Life is far too short to spend it pleasing people who would still leave. Even if you bent yourself in half to keep them. Too short to waste your energy on places that demand your silence when you were born to speak. And one day, sooner or later, you realize there's no peace in fitting where you have to hide. Because what's truly meant for you will never ask you to shrink. It will ask you to expand. You're not wrong for changing. You just grew. And that's what growth does. It sheds everything that became too small for who you're becoming. And it's okay if some people drift away, if some places no longer make sense. Not everyone is meant to follow you into your expansion, and that's okay. Your soul knows that staying where you no longer fit is a quiet kind of death. And life doesn't want that for you. Life wants to see you whole. At some point you'll get tired. Not of fighting, but of pretending. Pretending that you don't feel, that you don't want, that you don't dream as much as you do. And that exhaustion will make you look inward with a courage you've never had before. You'll realize that what you once called safety was just fear wearing a mask. Fear of being rejected. Fear of being judged. Fear of losing the little you have. But what you haven't realized yet is that this little has never been enough for who you truly are. Life will start to provoke you. It will begin to remove what's too small. It will stir up what felt comfortable and take away everything that keeps you trapped. And you'll call it a crisis. But in truth, it's a calling a calling to expand. Because the soul always finds a way to remind you of your true size. You weren't born to hide behind walls that suffocate you. You weren't born to tiptoe through life just to avoid disturbing anyone. You were born to leave marks, to inspire, to exist fully. And every time you try to fit, it's as if you're telling life, I don't trust myself. But you can trust yourself. You can trust that voice that keeps calling you out even when everything around you says to stay. I know that growth hurts. It hurts to let go of people, of places, of old versions of yourself. It hurts to realize that some connections only existed when you were smaller. But that pain isn't punishment, it's passage. It's the price of freedom. You'll start to notice that the world changes when you do. Suddenly, the places that once made you feel small no longer fit. Shallow conversations start to drain you. Lukewarm love bores you. Repetition suffocates you. Because now you want more, not out of arrogance but out of essence. You want what challenges you to grow. What stretches you. What reminds you that being alive means feeling everything deeply. And one day you'll wake up and understand. It was never about being accepted. It was about allowing yourself to exist fully. It was never about fitting in. It was about blooming. You start to take up your space without fear, and the world rearranges itself to meet you there. The right people find you. The right paths open. The right opportunities appear. Because the universe always responds to authenticity. You don't need permission to be big. You don't need to justify being intense, wanting deeply, or feeling too much. That's what makes you alive. That's what makes you human. And the more you allow yourself to be whole, the more life gives itself back to you in fullness. Life is far too short to live with a heart that feels compressed. Too short to hide inside versions of yourself that no longer fit. You're not here to please, you're here to shine. And the light that comes from choosing yourself can never be dimmed. You no longer need to ask for permission to exist in your full size. You don't have to apologize for who you are or hide just to be loved. You've spent too long trying to fit in. Now it's time to expand. Life is far too short to keep living inside spaces that no longer hold who you've become. Maybe today you still feel afraid. And that's okay. Fear isn't a sign to stop. It's an invitation to grow. It only appears when you're standing at the door of a greater version of yourself. And once you walk through it, nothing small will ever be able to contain you again. There's no courage without vulnerability. And no freedom without letting go. So let go of what's too small. Leave behind what keeps you tight. You weren't born to be discreet. You were born to be whole. And your greatness is not an exaggeration. It's a truth the world needs to witness. Life is too short to live in silence within yourself. Expand. Overflow. The world needs the woman who is born the moment you stop hiding. And if this message touched you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to keep walking this journey of growth and awakening. Thank you for staying until the end. See you in the next video.